Hello and welcome to the All Things Geek podcast. I'm your host, Leighton, and I am joined by...
Tyler.
And today we're going to be talking about Moon Knight, but first let's get into our news segment, since there's quite a lot of figure news and releases going on, especially from Hasbro. But firstly, I want to talk about the upcoming Doctor Who figures that are meant to be dropping this year, which over in the UK, where it's exclusively only sold, we typically get two waves. So we get a summer set, which is 2 3-packs of figures, and then 2 Dalek sets, maybe a TARDIS set here and there, but what's coming this year, we're not getting that until later in the year, where we're getting, again, 2 3-figure packs, and then 2 Dalek sets, a TARDIS set, and a other set as well. So, rumours have it, for those who do collect the Doctor Who figures and stuff, that this year is mainly going to be focused on modern Doctor Who and not classic, because B&M, the company that sells the figures, since that's the only place that sells them, they've only put out, or Character Options is the company, sorry. B&M is the store that sells them. Do you know what I mean? Puts them on the shelves, whatever. But Character Options is the company that makes them. Anyway, Character, for the last few years, have only focused on figures and stuff from classic Doctor Who, so that's 1960 something to 1980 something. So within that time frame, there's been a lot of backlash and complaints from fans of the current era and from 2005 onwards, which is understandable to a point, because they've kind of been left out and this is the only line that you're getting new figures from. So yeah, this year is looking to be more current Doctor Who base. So we've got a rumoured 8th Doctor set, which is quite exciting, because the 8th Doctor only appears in the TV movie and a little short, excluding all the audio adventures and stuff. So I'm very, very curious to know what we're going to get in that. We're rumoured to get a 10th Doctor set, so hopefully we get a new updated 10th Doctor. That would be really nice. There was one floating around on eBay for a while, and then the other 2 3-packs is meant to be based around the 9th Doctor and then the 13th Doctor. So that's that. And also I need to mention the prices for these sets are going up. So currently, or since B&M have put out these sets, they've always been £20. They've always been 20. But this year they're putting £2 extra on, and some fans are kind of being a bit thingy about it, which I really don't understand. Take it from someone who collects Marvel Legends and stuff. Adding £2 on for 3 figures is not a bad deal, believe me. Even the Dalek 2-packs, yeah, fair enough, it's a smaller scale, it's 5-inch instead of 6, but you're getting 3 figures for the price of 22, which isn't bad. It really isn't a bad price. And yeah, the TARDIS set this year is rumoured to be around the 1st Doctor, and it is meant to be electronic, so the price for that is going up ever so slightly. Again, previously it would only be 20, but because this has got lights and sounds, they've added an extra £12 onto it, which is fair. So yeah, the prices have gone up ever so slightly, but listen, I'm not complaining. I'm not one of those people who are having a heart attack because they've added £2 onto 20 for these sets. So yeah, that's the Doctor Who news. Moving on, we have some McFarlane figures. Is it the we've only got the 2, if I'm correct.
Yes, they're
now, you sent these. Do you want to talk about what they are? Because they just look pretty abysmal.
Yeah, well, so there was a Green Lantern event a while back, before even like the New 52. So, but it was called Blackest Night, where some bad guy made everyone who had ever died in the DC universe or was dead into Black Lanterns and yada yada yada. Anyway, it's just zombie Black Lantern, Batman, and Superman. The Batman looks okay.
The Superman looks terrible.
Superman looks abysmal. He looks like an old man who sat in the bathtub for too long and got really wrinkly, and then his face looks like something out of the Evil Dead movies. Yeah, he looks awful.
100% agree with that. Looks pretty bad.
I think the Batman looks fine.
But that Superman doesn't look that great. So I'm sure we.
You know what? The positive to say here is they don't have side eye.
Yeah, that's a plus.
There's zombies that are looking straight forward, so that's something.
Yeah, so that's something. Moving on to Hasbro and Marvel Legends and other themes, because Transformers has dropped some things as well as Power Rangers, but mainly Marvel Legends. Firstly, we got a review of Moon Knight and Mr. Knight from a certain YouTuber. I think Hasbro collabed with him, and what do you think of the figures? Judging from what you saw.
I have not actually seen the review.
Right, okay. I've watched the review. I don't think I'm going to get Mr. Knight, just because the body is majority reused and stuff, and it's not that. It's all right, but it's nowhere near as good as the Moon Knight figure. And I mean, that figure alone would look so good with the soft goods cape. That's definitely something I will be doing. But out of the two, Moon Knight is the far superior one. Out of the two, but,
easily,
judging by the images that we've got in chat and stuff, are you planning on getting both, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay.
Obviously, Moon Knight is like an over the moon kind of figure. It's flat out. He looks incredible. Mr. Knight, I like the character in the show, and I'm excited to see more of him and all his accessories. So, and I'm going to build Ultron. So I'm going to get him.
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of other lines and whatnot, we got our first leaked look at the Love and Thunder wave. So we've got, two different Thors in the wave? One from Guardians
Thors,
3. Oh, yeah, 3.
No, actually, he's not from Guardians 3. He's from the beginning of this movie.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was from...
No, at the beginning of this movie, Thor is still with the Guardians. As far as
yeah. Okay. All right, okay. And then I'm assuming Guardians 3 takes place in between.
Either that or afterwards. I don't think James Gunn has said that he's using Thor in his movie.
All right, okay. So, judging by the images, firstly, I think we should talk, like, who's in the wave, and then give our overall thoughts, what's our favourite, and, so firstly, we've got Ravager Thor. Next, we've got is it Mighty Thor?
I don't know what I think it's just Thor.
Yeah, it's Thor in his, golden armour.
And his armor.
That Mighty Thor is the Jane figure.
Yeah, Jane Foster Thor.
Star-Lord, Valkyrie,
King
Teenage Groot. I'm a little disappointed that he isn't fully grown yet.
I assume we'll get that in Guardians 3, but this is probably pretty shortly after Endgame.
I've just noticed that if you look at like what you actually get with the figure, there's a lot of like different arm accessories and stuff for him.
An alternate hand and 2 separate arm pieces.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
And then we get is it Goro
Gore?
Sorry, the God Butcherer. So that's our first look at him. Yeah, let's go through the wave and see who's our favourite and stuff. And
with Korg as the Build-A-Figure.
Yeah. Which it just seems like it's an update, and they've added a few different molds and stuff to the already pre-existing one. So
definitely an overhaul.
Yeah.
I'd say like 80% of it's new. Yeah.
So let's start from Ravager Thor, and then we'll make our way through, and then, like I say, we can pick our favourites and whatnot. What do you think of the look for Ravager Thor?
I like the look. I like that he's got the pinless joints. I'm thinking I'm going to get this figure, if only to swap the head onto the armored Thor. I don't really like his goofy looking helmet. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool figure, and I'll be happy to have it. Yeah,
I quite like the look of Ravager Thor. Moving on, we just have Thor, but it's in his golden armour. It's a very striking look, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this look like actually on screen and stuff. But I see what you mean about the helmet. I think the helmet would have probably worked a bit better if the eyes were like whitened out, or something, instead of just seeing him like behind the mask or whatever. But yeah,
I assume he's gonna wear the helmet for like one scene in the movie, because that's always how it goes with Thor and his helmets.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that looks like looks alright. Moving on, we have Mighty Thor, our first look at Jane Foster as Thor. Yeah,
she has double jointed elbows for a female figure, which is the Pacel, and they're pinless. Her helmeted head looks real goofy, and her hair looks like a McDonald's toy. So if I get her, I'll give her hair a wash or something.
Yeah, it looks a bit too blonde,
plasticky.
Yeah. Star-Lord looks alright, I guess. I mean, not much has changed. He's got a new jacket, like a longer trench coat that he had in the first movie.
He's got pinless arms. He's reusing legs from his previous versions. The head doesn't look like a improvement as far as I can tell compared to the last Star-Lord we got, but I'll need to see more of him to make more of a decision.
Then we got Valkyrie, or is it King Valkyrie or something like that?
King Valkyrie, I believe,
I quite like the look. It's definitely like with the black and the white. It's like, especially with that, like it goes to the hair as well. Like the likeness is very good, and double jointed arms for a female figure as well. Again, it's really nice to see that they're actually doing this with the female figures for the wave, because we've had single elbows for female figures for so long, so it's quite nice to see that this is what they're doing. We've got Groot. He looks alright. Like I say, I would have preferred if they did a different version, but even still, like looking at the Groot figure, I kind of wish it had more of a wash to it, and stuff. I kind of get a feeling with this wave, just looking at it, like they could have improved on certain colours and stuff, and given like certain figures more of a wash. Maybe it would have helped the sculpts pop more instead of making it look far too plasticky. And I guess that's one of the main issues I have with that Korg Build-A-Figure especially. And then we have you're gonna have to correct me again.
Gore,
yeah. He looks all right. I mean, he doesn't look that much like his artwork on the side. Yeah, he looks okay. I know there's been a lot of backlash with the design, like from what he is meant to look like to this. So yeah.
I don't know. He's a very boring looking villain, so I don't think I'm gonna get him, to be honest.
Yeah. And then finally we have the Cog Build-A-Figure. It looks alright. I mean, it's Cog. I absolutely love Cog.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not the biggest fan of the blue pants that he has.
Yeah, I don't like the weird spiky red pattern pants.
It definitely clashes with the overall look and stuff.
I'm perfectly happy with the first Korg. So
yeah, same. I don't need to collect this personally. It's an alright wave, personally. I don't think it's amazing or anything. But what's your favourite figure from the wave? And let's go after that. Your least favourite, if you wanna do that.
Well, I didn't get to say anything about Valkyrie earlier because you just kind of rushed.
Oh, I do apologise.
Yeah, she looks really cool. I'm very excited to get her because I do not yet have Valkyrie. My favorite figure from the wave is probably either Ravager Thor or King Valkyrie. And my least favorite would probably be, I'm going to say Gore, because at least Teen Groot is a figure I haven't wanted and haven't gotten yet, and he comes with some new stuff.
I agree with your least liked, but my favourite of the wave is definitely Ravager Thor. Just visually very different to other Thors we've had, I guess, and stuff. So, for one last thing for Marvel Legends, Hasbro have announced that we are getting all 3 Spider-Men figures, as in like Toby, Andrew, and Tom in 2023. I would have liked it a lot sooner, as I'm sure many others would have, but it's going to be great to see those figures remade, and I hope Hasbro, you produce enough. Please don't let it be like Retro Spider-Man, where everyone's scrapping for the bastard thing.
I'm sure they will. It'll probably be in a full wave of No Way Home figures, if I had to guess.
But I want that. Like, I'm not bothered about another Tom figure. I don't need another Tom. I had one before and I sold it.
I do if they make the red and blue suit from the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's fair. But for me, hands down, it's Toby and Andrew's figures that I want more than anything. Just an updated Toby, especially, would be amazing. So that's very exciting for Spider-Man fans and stuff. Moving on, we've got one Power Rangers reveal, I think. Do you want to talk about that? Because I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at.
I did not watch the stream, so I'm not certain if these are a 3-pack or if they're going to be in a wave.
Single, yeah.
Yeah, I would presume they're going to be part of a wave. But Hasbro revealed the pink, red, and yellow Ninja Rangers for the Mighty Morphin team. Essentially, they're goofy-looking ninjas in ungodly bright, latex rubbery-looking plastic colors. Like, they look like they would be in full-on rubber suits. Yeah, I don't. They look like fine figures, but they're just like way too
like,
goofy looking for me.
It's
like the Ranger suits is one thing, but like put them in like cloth robes and stuff with the same bright colors. It's no.
Yeah, I completely understand. They're just. I don't know. Like you think of Power Rangers, and immediately you think of the suit, like the actual like suits and stuff. So it's a bit jarring to see Rangers like in these sort of weird ninja sort of look. I will have a look quickly to see if they are a 3-pack or not, because I am currently on Hasbro Pulse. So I'll get back to you on that. I mean, they're doing proper replicas of the one of the swords. I'm assuming from that exact series and stuff. No, it appears that they are single figures, I think. Which, yeah, they are. And Jesus, they're priced. God, £33. Wow.
Jeez.
That's wow. Jesus Christ. So we've got a lot of Transformers reveals. I say a lot, but there is quite a few. So Hasbro firstly started talking or showing off their new Motormaster figure, which is a Commander class. So it's currently priced at £91. So it's a big fella. But it is the body. You get everything apart from like the combiner, cars and whatnot to make Menasor, but the frame and everything of the combiner you get with this. So it's a big hefty thing. He looks spot on to how he does in G1. And I mean the Menasor that they have revealed, it's accurate. So going through, he's the first one that I put in chat there. We've got a it's a weird it's a weird line that they're currently doing called Transformers Legacy, where they're bringing every sort of character from every continuity into this line. It's very weird.
And updating like the aesthetics and stuff.
Yeah, so and making it fit like this. Yeah. So for example, you've got Transformers Prime Knockout here, who's had a complete redesign for this line, and it's I haven't collected anything from this line. I don't know if it's any good, but yeah, the figures look alright, I guess. We've got Tarantulas here. Definitely a favourite character of mine. He obviously turns into a big fuck off spider. So, yeah, he looks pretty spot on to how he does in comics and stuff like that. We've got Elita 1. She looks pretty shit. She looks pretty awful. And there's already memes about the way the figure looks and stuff like that. Yeah, female Transformers, they kind of suffer and stuff. We've got this other Voyager. I genuinely don't have a clue who this character is. Apparently he's from Generation 2, but he's this very odd white, yellow, green jet thing. Yeah, looks alright, I guess. And then we get images of Menasor sort of like teased with the car parts added and stuff. We see Blitzwing, which is a triple changer, and yeah, if you just have a look through the images, you can see the absolute mess that is his jet mode.
Yeah, I see that. It looks ridiculous.
Terrible. His tank board's pretty accurate, even if he has a little ding dong at the front. Yeah, and then we get like an image of the back of the packaging for Motormaster, where you can see the unfinished Menasor in the background, obviously without the cars and stuff. An image of Tarantulas in his robot modes, and knockout in his car mode. So I think that's it for the Hasbro section, thankfully. Kind of getting bombarded with so much stuff. There's probably Black Series stuff we haven't talked about and whatnot. But Hasbro, just chill. Yeah, especially if we're having to report on stuff, just calm down a little. So, one last thing for the news segment. I know we've been going on for quite some time. But the trailer, I think this is the only thing that I can think of that's dropped in terms of the trailer for Stranger Things Season 4 dropped. I know you're not really interested in the show now. I'm not sure if you were in the first place or not.
I've seen the trailer. I quite like seasons 1 through 3, but this season is just taking an ungodly long amount of time, and it's getting to the point where I really don't care much anymore, but I'll probably still watch it.
Yeah. So I absolutely love Stranger Things. Weirdly enough, season 3 is my absolute favourite. A little controversial, I guess. I know season 1's like this on this Plymouth, or this absolute untouchable thing. But I love all of them, even the shittier stuff from season 2 and stuff. So it's been 3 years since the last season, and we're getting trailers and stuff for the 4th one. Interestingly enough, they are splitting the season into 2 halves, and reason being is that each episode is meant to be over an hour long. So yeah, I mean, for me, I'm interested. I think it looks pretty good. Like I say, I've enjoyed everything that's came before. Yeah, unfortunately, it's taken as long as it has. It definitely could have came out I don't know, a year or so ago. I mean, yeah, fair enough, COVID and everything like that, but you can't really use that as an excuse all the time for 3 years of a show. Yeah, I'm intrigued. It looks interesting. It seems that they're going to be spending a lot of time in the Upside Down and world and stuff, which I'm looking forward to. And I kind of hope that they're bringing back more of the horror vibe that the first season definitely had.
Seems to be the case. They are using that weird tentacle zombie man that we see in the trailer a few times, who is named after one of my favorite things about Stranger Things is D&D references, and he is named after a villain from Dungeons and Dragons named Vecna. So I'm interested to see what his deal is. Hopefully he's more interesting than the Mind Flayer from seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah, and obviously we get the glimpse of the Demogorgon and stuff that's still there with Hopper and Russia and stuff. I mean, the VFX for that looks really good. Definitely looks like they've improved on it, especially from the first season and whatnot. Yeah, I'm really curious, excited, and a little skeptical, I guess, for this season, just because with this new villain they're bringing in, we've never had a villain that speaks English, can communicate how it does. Do you know what I mean? That. So it's a bit. It kind of seems like this villain should have been there from the start, building him up, or whoever it is, and then
they may well retcon that to be the case as well.
Yeah, that's true. So it is going to finish with season 5. That's probably going to be about 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
for all
when the kids are all in their 30s.
Yeah, and whatnot. It's very odd. I mean, if you probably go back to the first episode of the show and just see how young the cast is, it's probably very bizarre.
It's very bizarre seeing how old some of them look. I don't remember what his name is, but the kid that sings the theme to Never-Ending Story in one of the other seasons. That kid, he doesn't look much older, but
Dustin.
The rest of the
I don't know
actors
the actor's
look
name,
so
but the
much older.
Dustin, yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
He doesn't look like he's aged very much.
Some of the others definitely have like.
Billy Bobby Brown too. She doesn't look like she's aged that much.
I'm trying to think of his. I'm trying to think of the kid's name. He was in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah, he looks like he's fucking just shot up him. Like,
yeah, he looks like he's a skeleton man.
Yeah,
like his cheeks look very sunken.
It's really weird, and I know like they put out like some publicity images and stuff, and people took the absolute piss out of the haircuts that they've done for this season for the kids because they're all really bad. Yeah.
I guess if the kids are growing up, they're kind of in like the early 2000s now, aren't they?
I don't know, you know.
Because wasn't the show taking place in the 90s?
No, it was taking place in the 80s.
So they're probably in the early 90s.
So what it is that each season I think was like, say, like, I don't know, 1981 for example, and then like the second season was like the following year type.
So then probably not early 90s,
yeah,
probably
so
late 80s.
I definitely don't think they're at the 90s yet, judging by some of the scenes we get. I think it's like very late 80s, especially with the music choices they use, like from Journey and stuff. The music typically reflects the year the show is set. So I think maybe 1988, around that time we could be at, and then maybe depending on if in the show it's like 3 years after what happened in season 3 to whatever is going to happen with season 5, if that's going to be like a year apart or whatever, 10 years, who knows. But I definitely don't think they're at the 90s yet.
Well,
could be there, but
it says season 3 took place in 1985, so they could be.
I definitely think it's like 1988
right on the
or
edge.
something. Yeah, right on the edge, like very late 80s. So if that's the case, I'm open for some Billy Idol in the soundtrack, please. That would be very nice. And some, I mean, that's one thing I love about the show, with it being set in the 80s. I adore 80s music. And just like the song choices and stuff for the show, it's always really, it just fits so well. So, enough about Stranger Things. We're talking about Moon Knight now. Episode 3 dropped. But I've got to say, for the last 3 weeks, we haven't talked about a certain other show. For the last 3 weeks, we've talked about Halo. Well, Tyler has, and Aidan has. I haven't. I just couldn't make it past episode 1. But Tyler here doesn't want to continue with that. And, yeah, I'm not going to force him to watch a shit show if he doesn't want to watch a shit show. So, yeah, I mean, you tried and watched episode 4 from what you've told me.
So I gave it to episode 3. And, yeah, no, I remembered that episode 4 came out today, and I was like, oh, I guess I should watch that. And then the whole time leading up to getting it set up and like turning the PlayStation on and getting everything, up and ready.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like debating in my head, do I actually want to watch this? Is this what I want to spend an hour of my time on today? And so I started it up and let the recap play or whatever, and got first few minutes into the first scene where it's showing John as a little boy talking to Halsey or whatever, and I just it was terrible child actor that I kept rolling my eyes. I could not care less. So I just stopped it, and I'm done. Unless I hear better things, I think I'm done.
I mean, to be fair, you said until episode 3 anyway, so you've tried.
Yeah.
You've tried, so that's definitely a -10 from Tyler on episode 4 of Halo. You couldn't make it past 5 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's a solid 0.
So let's talk about something that we actually liked.
Yeah.
Episode 3, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think?
I thought episode 3 was fantastic. I loved getting to learn about all this mythology and this lore for the Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
We get some mystery set up with Mark and Steven as well. Either Khonshu is puppeting him at times, or they're setting up a third personality.
Jake, he's definitely coming.
Could be, yeah, but if it is Jake, then
Jake's coming.
If it is Jake, then he's going to be like a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean that's more or less
the
what
crap out of people.
I mean,
he's a taxi driver in the comics. He's not a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, but he is one that is more like out of the three. Like Steven's the balance between them. Mark's like the unhinged, and then like Jake's like the fucking nutcase. I mean,
anyway, but yeah, I'm interested to see if that does bring Jake into the show, and if he is just going to be like this really. If honestly, if they're bringing Jake in, I could see Jake Lockley being the villain of season 2. If that's the case, I think that would be a very interesting, like, internal struggle for him.
It'd be very different.
Arthur Harrow continues to be a douchebag this episode.
He's a great villain.
Smarmily.
I really like him.
He's
manipulative.
Very charismatic, very manipulative. Yeah, he's very smarmy. Talks his way out of everything.
Yeah.
But he's a great villain, and I hope that he gets some sort of Marvel Legends figure and hopefully have a good costume, because he's definitely one of the better ones with a lot of personality. But we get some more Layla. It's mostly a Mark-focused episode. We do get some Steven in there. We get a lot of Khonshu. We get some like clear, bright daylight looks at Khonshu, and he looks fantastic. But seems like Mark's going to be powerless for a few episodes at least going forward, since Khonshu is stripped from him, put in timeout.
For all we know.
Yeah, could be. I mean, there's only 3 episodes left, so...
probably only going to be
But yeah, Mark's got to get Khonshu back, and now they know where to go to stop Harrow, so...
Yeah.
Gripped it. I loved all the mystery, I loved all the lore, loved the visuals, the eclipse, and like the moving back to stars.
That was
so cool.
Hot. Like... So for like me, when I first started watching it, I was thinking, I was like, I was into it, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, so far I'm thinking about like an 8.7, and that was my lowest rated I would give an episode so far, and then it got to the like the Egyptian gods, and you saw like the rest of the like avatars and where they would take over them, and like that courtroom scene. I absolutely love that. The world building in this episode is top notch, and
the acting on Oscar Isaac for when Khonshu speaks through him was incredible.
Yeah,
like, I mean, he is a master at bouncing through different personalities and stuff. It's so great.
Ridiculous. I mean, like, his whole physique and whatnot changes from Mark to Steven, and I absolutely love that. And that's something that Christopher Reeve did with Superman. If you ever seen those old Superman movies where he would change his posture from Clark Kent to Superman, and it's such a simple thing of, like, standing up straight, your neck up, chest forward, but it gives the impression that these are 2 different characters, whereas like Mark holds himself very highly, and then Steven is more down, if you know what I mean, and more like not hunched but like
slouchy,
and his whole face changes, and it's so good. It's simple but effective.
And even like the way it was really this episode. There's a scene where it doesn't do the like crazy blackout cut between personalities. It does like he just holds up a mirror and you watch his face change.
Yeah.
And so that was really where I noticed, like, obviously the accent, but also just like his speech patterns and like his mannerisms that really highlight.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it, how he just does it like that. It just shows how amazing Oscar Isaac is as an actor. He's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are raving about that fight scene that happens. It's a very, very good fight scene when the action gets going. And
the one where he gets
impaled and
skewered
stuff,
by
and
the lances.
Yeah, and he switches between Mr. Knight. That was really fun. Mr. Knight giving off like proper Deadpool vibes in that scene. And,
Everyone's comparing him to Deadpool, and that's I get it.
But like that was a very, very fun action scene stuff and whatnot. But for me, my favourite moment out of this episode was the night sky going backwards and just seeing the stars, and Khonshu and Steven, not Mark, Steven, working together. Throughout the other episodes, Khonshu has constantly belittled Steven as this idiot, this fool. But when he's actually needed him, he's told him, like, yeah, do exactly what I'm doing and we can do this. Like, it shows that Khonshu is...
Yeah, like,
he's developing.
They actually have, like, a moment, and he confides in Steven. He's like, tell Mark to come save me. Because he knows that they're going to lock him away, and it was just such a great moment. And it really made Khonshu feel like more of a character.
Yeah. That was visually such a stunning scene.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite moments was actually... one of my favorite moments was the fight with the guys on the roof. Like that, it's very simple, and it's very simple, like, choreographed fight, but it felt very like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. Mark Spector, he's very cool in action.
It was very, even when he's not wearing the suit. It got dark at times, this episode, at certain points, like that kid committing suicide.
They stuck like a straight up butcher knife in someone. Yeah, it got pretty dark.
Like, and I love how unfazed Khonshu is by that. Like, he's like, yeah, take him to the edge, he will talk, and then he doesn't, and he's just like, oh well. Like, that's...
I thought he would talk.
Someone's just committed suicide, and he's just there. And I love that, because a lot of the comic strips that you see of Khonshu, he is just sat around chilling, and I love the fact that, like, throughout this whole opening, he's just sat about, like... Yeah, I love that. Oh, man.
I really hope we get a Legends figure
of him, because
I want to take some shots of just him chilling in the background.
I would love one of him. He's such a great character. I just love that design. I'd be very curious to know how...
He's got such a personality.
He's great, isn't he? I'm curious to know how they do the neck.
They'd probably do like a clear rod.
Yeah, do you know, like, every time I thought about it, that's exactly what I think they would do.
With ball joints on either.
Yeah. I'd absolutely love a Legends figure of him. Very tall, lanky thing. It'd be great. Yeah, what else happened in the episodes? Horror, like, sorry. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like, what else?
Mark and Layla work together. They're trying to figure out how to...
Yeah, you see more of their, like, relationship, or marriage, I should say.
Big sight.
And she,
yeah, they have a long conversation, which is nice.
Yeah, I kind of got the impression that when he turns into Steven, she kind of prefers him to Mark. Just the way she's kind of looking at him when he's like,
I don't know,
but
if
I could
she
be entirely
prefers Steven. The sense I get is more like she has an easier time working with Steven, because she's got a lot of like
Mark's very secretive.
Frustration with
Steven's
Mark keeping her out of the loop.
Yeah, Steven's more open. Mark's
Steven's
more,
it's more naive.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just this episode was amazing, wasn't it? It was so good. Like, by far the best episode of the season. And it's mad that...
For me as well, yeah.
Every episode just continues to, like, excel and just build and build and build. Like, it just makes every episode... Like, when it comes to it and you think, right, how are they going to top that or whatever, like, and the episode ends... And you're like, for fuck's sake, I have to wait another week to get more. And it comes to it and you're like, yeah come on. And, mate, the best thing is that the fact that, like, these episodes are, like, 53 minutes long as well. Like, everything... Like, there's no waste, there's no dragging, nothing like that. And it's just like, this is just... Yeah. This could have just been a flat-out movie. I know it's, like... split up and stuff, but yeah, I just
honestly would say this is better than getting a movie. Honestly, I'll be honest at this point. Movies, for me, with a shorter span of time, should probably be used for characters who can't tell as long of a story.
Yeah,
like
true.
The 6-hour runtime you can have for a show, that would be like on Disney Plus, that would be perfect for like an Avengers.
You completely right.
one shot like show or something like that.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
It does feel like it. It does definitely feel like it's a movie. Like this is the one Disney Plus or Marvel show that we've had where it genuinely feels like that, do you know what I mean, just broken up and stuff into 6 parts, and I haven't really had the sense from any other of the shows where it's felt like it could be a movie or whatever, do you know what I mean? I don't know, just...
Falcon and the Winter Soldier had that for me.
Yeah.
Loki kind of had that for me, but the... hard to know Loki just because I have so much hatred for one character, but Loki definitely works in a binge like a movie would. And then Hawkeye
is 1000% like a show. Like it feels like a show.
Yeah,
which is fair, I guess.
It's very lighthearted. It's very silly.
Yeah, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's
kind of be themed, so it should feel like a show. And then What If is, cartoon. So
I'm trying to think. Is there? We should mention that. I can't remember the character's name, but the guy they go to was the actor that sadly passed away before the show came out. So this episode is supposedly dedicated to him, and I think he was meant to have like a bigger part, like moving forward and stuff, as like a recurring character, but obviously, unfortunately, he had a skiing accident and sadly passed away. So, So this is the first time we see that character and stuff. It's a bit of a shame.
Well, if that's the case, it makes it a little bit more of a bummer that Moon Knight just throws a moonerang at him and he dies.
Yeah, I mean,
in the background.
I mean, we don't see him necessarily die because it kind of goes off into smoke, if I remember correctly. So
he's riding a horse in the background and he throws the moonerang at him and he just like falls over or whatever.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, it is what it is. It's unfortunate,
but it's a shame we didn't get one more scene with him or something like that.
Yeah, but so I guess we should rank the episode. Not rank, rate, sorry. What would you rate the episode out of 10?
Well, my last 2 episodes have been 9s out of 10, so I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. I have no complaints with this episode.
Yeah. So my first rating was a 9.5, and then I think it was like a 9.6. I could be talking.
9.7, you said.
9.7. This is hands down a 10. Just from the world building, everything we get in the episode, like all the visuals and just stuff like that. It's just so good. Like, yeah, I hope the show just keeps this going and delivers with an amazing final in a few weeks' time. I'm sure it will. But yeah, so that's Moon Knight episode 3. So moving on to our final segment. We always do this every week. Any new buys? Any new figures that you've bought? Anything like that that you want to talk about?
Did you get anything?
I did. So I think I got it near the end of last week, but I got the retro Sandman figure from the Spider-Man wave. This was a figure that I've been after for quite some time, so I was very happy to find him. And yeah, he's fun. I wouldn't say he's amazing or anything like that. He's fun. I will say one of my biggest issues with the figure is that the accessories are quite heavy, so they kind of make like his upper arm joints a bit loose to hold in certain positions and stuff, just with the weight. But in terms of figures, I just want to quickly have a look. I think that's all I bought this. Like in terms of figures, I did get a new camera. I know I've been posting this all over my social media and stuff, but I did get my first DLSR camera, which is a Canon 3OS 2000D, and I'm just figuring out how to use it, getting back into photography and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm loving that at the minute. I only got it today, so. Yeah. Anything from you, like any new tech or out like that? Or...
Well, I've only gotten one new figure, which is this. It was about $10. Bandai America. I forget what the line is called, but it's a Naruto figure from his original series. Right now, it seems like people are trying to track this thing down and freaking out or whatever. But it's very cool. Not the best in the articulation department. Certainly in the design department, there's a lot of gaps and stuff, but for $10 I can't complain very much, and I've always wanted a good figure of Naruto from his original look, so I am perfectly satisfied.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, did you from what I can see, it looks it's not bad for like $10. And I mean, what's the scale for that? Is it like 5" or something?
He is probably closer to like 4 inches tall. True 6-inch scale. Right, okay. If he's a child, he'd be about 4 feet tall or so.
Yeah. Oh well.
So I sent a picture of him compared to his teenage counterpart. So
yeah. I mean, like I say, it looks good for especially for the price and stuff. Pretty good. So that's all we have for this week. I know We normally record on Wednesdays, mainly for like Moon Knight and stuff, but I was busy, so the episode's obviously being pushed back to Thursday, like today, is getting recorded on, so I do apologise for that. But please, if you want to go and follow the All Things Geek podcast Instagram page where we post updates and stuff like that and whatnot. I don't think I have posted any updates for that. I think I just post the episodes and whatnot. We may eventually do a Q&A on, like, get questions from that and then answer it on a podcast at some point. I think that could be quite fun to do. And to also rate the podcast on Spotify massively helps us in the long run to get, like, elsewhere on the platform.
Very much appreciated.
And just give it a like, share, do whatever. That's all from us. Do you want to say anything before we head off?
Nope, that'd pretty much be all.
Well, that's that. So, thanks for listening, and I will see you all later, I guess. Bye.
Bye.